Canadians are known worldwide as polite pushovers. That's about to change. Laugh Attack brings to you a show with more balls than a sporting goods store. Prepare yourselves for the Hotzcast. Now, here's Kenny Hotz.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Castle. I'm here with Brian Pico and the legendary Kenny Hotz.
Thank you for calling me legendary.
Well, you really are a legend. More so in your own mind, but you do tell us all the time that you're a national treasure and that you're Canada's George Clooney.
That everyone wants to bury. I'll say, listen, I want to apologize. This is the new show. I think every show we did before this isn't even a show. It's just fucking garbage. It's terrible.
So that's getting warmed
up. And I'm
up.
done saying, oh, I'm so big and the big lie and all this shit. You know, I'm not a big celebrity. I have a very good cult audience and a very good following. More so than a lot of people here in Canada. So, you know, whatever.
You're a virgin. Can we talk about that?
I deserve respect. But I'm tired. I'm now it's all about truth. From now on, I'm only talking the truth. And I don't know if you fucking guys can handle it because you're so used to listening to lies. As I am. We've all been
sheeple. The sheeple.
No. I'm done. You know what? I'm going to fucking Oprahify my life. And now this is it. I'm gonna enlighten myself first, and then you second.
This is gonna be nice.
This is gonna be interesting.
But this is a new Castle. You tell them it's a new show.
It's a new show. Let me tell you. Last week I got yelled at before the show and on air for cutting you off.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. And then of course today this is not abnormal for me. Today I got yelled at for not cutting Kenny off.
Why weren't you cutting him off?
I wasn't. Because he told me not to.
Well, I have a little.
And I got yelled at for listening to you.
I told you not to cut me off, but I had this little like scab dangling off the head of my dick, and I was like, Kessel, cut it off. And he said, I don't want to cut it off. And then I said, well, you should have cut it off. And that's what we were arguing about.
You refused to cut off the scab.
I didn't know what to do. I got lectured for quite a while today for listening to you.
Well, because
don't listen to me.
A lot of comments are, you know, Kessel's shit, and he sucks, and he's garbage, and he looks like, I don't know, what's that guy's Marty Feldman with
Feldblum, I think.
With eye cancer. No, Marty Feldman with eye cancer. Right. He looks like Golem in a toupee.
He does.
That's what most people are telling me.
He does.
People are constantly telling
me
that.
And his wife's vagina looks like the fucking mountain in Mordor. Like if
also true.
If his wife opens her legs, it's kind of like that pit that Frodo was standing over trying to drop the ring into.
They say if you look deep enough, you'll find Frodo.
Anyways,
in there.
Whatever. You know what? The only place I want to get to in this show is I want to get to a place where I could feel like I'm talking to my pals on the couch. And before we came here, we grabbed a couple of, you know, shitty fucking diet Red Bulls at the shitty supermarket, and what? I don't know. You
see.
Finish
this is
it.
where you want me to cut you off because you weren't going to say anything.
I don't know.
And I had fun at the supermarket. We walked around, looked at some seafood.
Kenny loves the supermarket.
I do. I love
forever.
walking around the supermarket.
Costco is one of your favorites, but any supermarket will
Once years ago, I banged a chick in the fucking dairy case of a supermarket. And that's a true story in L.A. I told that on Strombo's show. But anyways. We had a crazy weekend. Oh my god, our fucking weekend was so insane.
What a whirlwind!
It was the Canadian Screen Awards.
It was unbelievable.
It was a roller coaster ride for you because you were high and then you got low. Let's talk about it.
There's always post festival. I'm still wasted.
It's not even a festival, it's just awards.
Oh, I was like screaming at the heads of networks saying, give me a fucking show. I've got like 100,000 more fucking fans than your shitty star of your shit show. It's true. Like, they're giving shows. There's this guy there. I'm not going to mention names, but, you know, a guy there who's got 22 Twitter fans. He's had 9 shows on Canadian television. It's like, I got 90,000 Twitter fans. So you're going to give a fucking show to. You know, anyways, it was a real experience. I didn't win an award.
Well, we knew there's no way we could win.
An honor just to be nominated.
Exactly.
But it's nice. It's good to be nominated. We're not getting into that. But I tell you, it's really weird. I don't think people like me there. Like, you know, there's some guy. There's going to be a lot of Americans and Germans listening to the show. You know, there's like, I showed up and I got taken into the VIP room with all my friends, all these guys, right?
Sure.
And one of the kids in the hall, Mark McKinney, grabs me and he takes me to go see Finkelman and Rick Mercer. You know, I'm kind of invited in the club.
Well, this was for you were on part of a panel.
Well, no, it was
industry panel.
It was a show called In Studio,
right?
Which was like the Academy Speaks, and you know, I'm lucky enough to be taken up there, even though I am the funniest fucking guy in the country, and you know, like seriously, probably besides these guys, the most downloaded fucking guy in the country. Like, you know, sure, these guys whack off a bunch of old ladies in Nova Scotia, but I am a diplomat of Canadian fucking content, and that's not bullshit. You go to fucking Sudan, and I hear stories about someone saying they're from Canada, and they go, Kenny? You know, that's what, you know, because nobody fucking knows anything from this country, and I'm happy to be one of the people that, probably one of the only people that other people in the world recognize as being, you know, making Canada funny.
Well, the other people, if we were to name them, you wouldn't know who they are. Can I name them?
Well, nobody knows who they
you
are.
Want to
they
keep
know
them
who
anonymous.
they are in Canada.
Yeah, outside of Canada, you couldn't watch their things. It wouldn't even make sense.
It won't even migrate to the U.S. I had my fucking show on Comedy Central. Who had their show on fucking Comedy Central? What Canadian shows end up on U.S. networks? Spenny and I were on fucking Conan O'Brien, and we weren't even in the U.S., and he was like a mega fan. Matt and Trey were mega fans. I have fans. I have like super celebrity fans.
Woody Allen, Spike Jones. You mentioned them a few times.
Well, I don't know about Woody that much. He's getting a little old now. But I know David. Here's a true story.
Finally, some truth.
I used to date David Bowie's stepdaughter, a girl named Ziggy Stardust, and a really great girl. I dated her for a while, and she was super nice, and I really liked her. And she sat down with David Bowie to watch the Who Can Eat More Meat episode. And he sat there.
One of my favorites.
Well, but Bowie, listen, I am the biggest fucking Bowie. I love Bowie. He's fucking wicked. Yeah. Even though I did see him do Church on Fire with a barbershop quartet at the fucking X, the worst concert I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Like, really, I swear to God, that was the worst fucking... He's done some serious shit.
He's had a long career.
You're like
and
dancing in the street.
Happens.
You remember sitting in the movie theater and you have to go like...
Mick Jagger.
Thomas Hill dancing in this... It was just the worst, most... He's a corporate fucking...
And it's hard to watch knowing that they had sex with each other, too.
He's a corporate puppet.
Yeah.
Oh, I would suck Bowie's dick.
David Bowie ate green peppers for an entire year only. Did you know that?
No.
In the 70s? Yeah.
Exclusively.
He thought the aliens were coming, and all he ate for a year was green peppers.
I don't see the connection, but
it's a sidebar.
Green peppers are so overrated. You go to Chinatown, the only thing they put in fucking everything is green peppers.
They're the worst peppers.
I don't know, like, what are
good.
you guys, like, from Barcelona? You fucking, like, Chinese restaurants? Like, I don't even think they use green peppers in China. It's cheap. Everything's got green peppers and onions in it.
Well, you can grow green peppers in almost anywhere. In the desert. That's in Israel, when they started growing things in the desert, they always start with peppers, I think green peppers, and then once the soil gets more fertile. So it's just the cheapest, easiest
Not even
vegetable.
Ripe. Unripened peppers. Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to David Bowie was watching my episode, and about 37 seconds in, he goes, "This isn't for me." And he got up and walked away. But it's so nice that the guy saw me.
Oh, that's
a true
amazing.
story.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
Joni Mitchell lasted like 12 seconds.
Yeah. So you're on the panel, and you're with these nobodies, but they're big in Canada.
We're back at the Comedy Awards. Let's talk about the red carpet. First of all...
It's not the Comedy Awards, Canadian Screen Awards.
Canadian Screen Awards. So, you know, everybody else is represented by a network, and we don't really have a celebrity system here. Like, basically, it's like the Golden Globes with no stars. That's what that show was that we went to. But people know that I'm, like... I don't know if they're scared of me, but I don't know if they think I'm fucking Johnny Knoxville, like a jackass guy or something. But they still know that I'm like, you know, that they can't fuck with me or piss me off, and they're all really kind of strange.
Just walking on eggshells.
So I go on to the red carpet, and all the photographers, they all see me and they all go crazy. Can you give us something? Because they know I pulled down my pants once on the red carpet at the Geminis, and they know, you know, they got all these boring fucking people in front of them. They know I'm going to give them some sick shit that they can print. So I did some funny shit, like I did the depressed guy when I showed up. I was trying to have a T-shirt. I wanted a T-shirt that said, like, "Stop teaching French," or or just something like, Where's Spenny or something like just something. I didn't do it.
Miracle Whip is not mayo.
It was cheesy. It was not. It was too desperate. But so I get on the red carpet. The photographers, because they're all fucking cool. They're all stoners and they sit at home and they're all fat and all they do is sit and watch TV and the internet. But then when I get to the press, nobody wants to talk to me.
No, you got shafted. Nobody cared.
Well, I wouldn't say shafted. I'm just don't meet their demographic.
Yeah.
I saw Ben Mulrooney, who's Brian Mulrooney's kid, and I'm friends of Ben's, but I was like, hey, how are you? Nothing.
Yeah, he likes you. I think he's a huge fan of yours.
He is.
And even he is like, but
nobody
else.
Yeah, no old lady in Kappa's casing is going to want to know who you are or something.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get fired.
But the reality is, the truth is that if you put me like on TV, that I'm the person that people are going to react to. Nobody knows what fucking Seed is or Continuum or any of these shows that and listen, it's not my problem, it's not my job. Let them, they have their mandates and stuff like that. But celebrify the celebrities. You know what I mean?
Well, if they're celebrities, they're not in Canada anymore.
Yeah.
It's like the whole award show. For those of you who aren't in Canada and can't imagine it, it's like imagine if Nebraska had their own film and television awards. It would be very similar. There'd be one or two people that you kind of knew and a bunch of shows that you didn't like and movies you never saw and people in them that looked like strangers.
Yeah, and a dressed up pig, but enough about Jeff's wife who was there as well.
Yeah.
She looked great.
Thank you.
For
a pig.
For a pig, yeah.
Zuckerman's famous pig. So, anyways, it was it's kind of like, here's my problem. This is why I want the show to be different, because I want to start being honest about everything. I feel like such a fucking loser because I'm there and I'm being so nice to everyone, and most of the people I'm being nice to are fucking losers. Like, there's some really great people there and people I've worked with who I like, and some cool, like, I've kind of shacked up with cool producers and executives and stuff like that. I don't mind any of those people. It's nice seeing them, and we did a lot of work together, and everything's great like that. Like, I love them. But then there's just people I just don't fucking give a shit about who fucking suck.
And you tend to kiss their ass. You go into them like, I love your stuff. Great, congratulations.
It's like my dad used to do that, and I don't know. I just don't know why. I'm mad at myself that I care about.
And they know you don't like them. They probably hear shit that you shit talk them on things like
Hollywood
this radio
Kenny
show, and then they know.
The problem is they know their shit.
Oh, they don't know their shit because people don't tell them except for you.
Oh, some people there. I've worked with some people who are they're all so fucking jealous and they're just dicks. And I got lucky. You get lucky. You work your ass off and you get lucky, and people know your show all over the world. But they'll never get that. Like, I'm one in a million. Well, I'm still a fucking loser. Like, you're still the guy who did put dump in your pants, and you go into South Park and you're a fucking loser.
Well, you got to eke out. You got to get in your next show. It's not you. It's hard for you to get your next show, and you've got to come in there crawling on your hands and knees, and they're greenlighting this crap.
Yeah, like total garbage. And so we're in the studio and we're doing a panel on stage, and me and basically the three biggest guys in comedy, me and these two other guys who are just nowhere near as funny as I am.
They're not very funny, yeah.
Or whatever. Maybe they are.
It's a subjective thing.
They're drier. I'm just a joke guy. I'm a one-liner guy. And I went, and I'll just tell you quickly, Jeff will, tell you more about it, but I went in on this panel. It was this big TV show in studio, Academy Speaks, with the heads of comedy in Canada. And I was really funny. And that's not just me saying that.
You were on fire. You were not just funny. You were on. Never seen you like that. You were
whatever.
In the zone.
I was funny, and everyone's so surprised I was funny. And I just realized that nobody's fucking funny in this fucking country. Like, and I don't care. Everyone's like, yeah, well, these guys are funny. That guys are funny. But there's nothing here for. Me. There's nothing here for me to watch. Any of us in this room to watch. My brother to watch. Our friends to watch. Nobody can mention one comedy in this fucking country that anybody loves or anyone can watch. And that's a fucking problem, because here I am, came back from Los Angeles. Like, I moved my fucking life back from another country to be back in Toronto, in the city I love, to represent Canada like I've done. And, I'm not saying nobody's giving me a show, but I'm still sitting here out of work for 2 fucking years, sitting in some shitty radio station, doing this fucking garbage.
Well, that's why we're at XM, because we've run out of broadcasters for that kind of edgy content because they've been bought out by companies that don't do that anymore.
I think I could still get something, and but I don't want to. I'm not going to suck anyone's
You
dick.
gotta tone it down too.
You can suck
tone
my
it
dick.
down. I could if I had a microscope.
Well, get one and suck my dick.
I'll suck your dick if you have a show in it.
Well, so let's talk. So you did the panel on the TV show. You were hilarious.
Talk about the panel.
Well, the panel, basically what happened was one of the members of the panel may have
Ken
been
Finkelman.
on...
Ken Finkelman, the guys... Well, listen, everyone, they're going to air the
Well
panel.
said, Jeff.
I don't think they can air
It's
it.
shot on TV.
I don't know. I've heard that they can't air it. What
I
happened was...
I went with Jerry D. He's the star of a show, which is CBC, which I
Mr.
call
D.
The Can't Be Cool. And
He's a funny guy.
It's the I'm sure he's funny.
It's government money. It's a government show.
It's the PBS of Canada, and we have a Canadian broadcasting system. And so Kenny versus Spenny started on this as well, and so he was there.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a show, so I'm not going to knock it, but I can imagine. But he was fine. He's a funny guy. He's a nice guy. And Ken Finkelman's got lots of funny shows. He's a nice guy.
Ken Finkelman doesn't have any funny shows. He's very dry. He's our Larry David.
Yeah.
His style is
very poor man.
And he gets extremely low numbers. Like, nobody watches his show. I know the numbers. I know because people in their company are pissed that I don't get a show. And I also know that it's impossible to sell their show. I know people that have tried to sell his show internationally. You can't sell it.
Impossible.
You can sell
Cannot
my
be seen.
fucking show because my show has more of a international feel, and I don't. It's Canadian, but it doesn't seem Canadian.
It's universal.
Anyways,
and timeless.
I really love the business, and I want to go get another show.
So what happened was you did the thing. Ken Finkelman was monopolizing the time and insulting. It was a little arrogant. It was kind of insulting the crowd, which I think is his shtick.
I think he was a little tipsy.
Might have been.
Well, I think he was
having
having a meltdown. And everyone's so proper and nice in Canada. Everyone sits there and they get so scared. It's like when you're at Christmas and you're downstairs with your uncle and he starts unzipping his pants in front of you, and you're like all like worried that Grandpa's going to whip out his cock in front of you, like that. That's like what people are like in the audience, like being traumatized by some guy being all grumpy. Yeah. And here everybody sits and just stands there like, oh God, what are we into? What's going to happen to us? We have to listen to a bad man talk.
No one's even the guy interviewing him didn't even.
Everyone shut
him.
up and they all got scared. It was like this.
So Kenny was cracking jokes and kind of making fun of him in a good spirited way, and it was so enjoyable because A, they were funny jokes, and B, you wanted somebody to call him out on.
But my God, imagine a comedy panel in Canada being funny. Everyone was so freaking out. Like I was like the talk of the fest. Talk of the awards. Kenny had a funny panel.
And then the problem with Kenny, the problem with you, is that you get so excited that you had a great night, you feel like people are going to offer you a show the next day, and then you get a little depressed when no one offers you a show the next day because you're a little lazy. You don't like to do all the work that goes into maybe not getting a show. So that's how you kind of hope it'll happen, don't you?
No.
Secretly,
I get depressed because I'm like, why? For me, it's all about ego, and why am I trying to? I want to be cool, and cool people shouldn't try to like be liked by anybody.
Yeah, you should just do your
I'm
own
so
thing.
obsessed with trying to be liked by everybody and all this stuff that I'm just sitting back going, what is my life? Why? What is this? Is this it? Is this my life that I have to go and run up to some shitty guy in the worst show I've ever seen and tell him he was great and just bullshit him so that he'll like me? Like, why?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how the biz works, bro.
It is how the biz works. And, I learned...
Sucking those
I
dicks.
was in L.A. and I learned a long time ago, and I hung out with some celebs, mostly Matt and Trey, and they handle it really well, but I don't want to be... It's not worth... I don't have the energy, and I don't want to be a celebrity that has to... I don't want to be that big.
Well, you also have...
And I really don't. This isn't like... I chose... I did that Zach and Mary thing, and then I had these agents at paradigm that wanted, like, were trying to start booking me as an actor in all these shows.
But you can't
like,
act.
There was that show, and yeah, but that doesn't. Who can fucking act?
Actors act.
You have trouble
they
saying
can't.
lines.
Yeah, do you think Jerry Seinfeld can act? The guy's worth $400 million fucking dollars.
But
He's
Kenny
active.
I'm going to say it. Kenny is a genius doing his own thing, just spontaneous.
Yeah.
But if you give him a sentence and you
Written
write
by
it down
somebody
and
else.
say this sentence,
Not going to happen.
you can't get it out. You want to talk about that, or could we be that real?
Listen. I don't like acting.
Yeah.
I get really nervous going on camera, and I did this audition once. I got thrown. I hate doing auditions, and Jeff knows. So I'm in LA. And my agent goes, "Here, we want you to do this audition." And it was that guy from that Helen Hunt show. He's a fucking idiot.
What about you, Paul Reiser?
Paul Reiser, yeah. So, anyways, my agent gives me the show. Supposedly, it got reamed as the worst fucking show in, like, network history. The opening of the show, I think he goes to Larry David and says, "Hey, Larry, do I have permission to rip off your show?" And then Larry David goes, "Yeah, you can rip off my show, no problem." That's the start of the show. Or was that Finkelman?
I think
Pretty
that's
close.
Single
That
White
was
Spenny.
Finkelman? Yeah, that was Finkelman did that. And Single
yeah,
White
it
Spenny
was.
wanted to do it,
Right.
but he couldn't actually he couldn't even get Finkelman in his show to do that. So anyways, it was a Paul Reiser, Larry David, total fucking ripoff, and the show was shit. And my agent sent me in there, and I can't fucking memorize. I can't memorize anything.
can't do it.
Dude, I smoked 40 joints a day for 10 years.
On Testes, the scenes that you even wrote for yourself, you could
ate
not get it out.
It's like Marlon Brando in there.
I ate a quarter ounce of hash, or I ate 4 grams of hash at an Ika Mouse concert at Summer Beat '84. Like the fact my spinal cord works is incredible. Like I don't even know. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
I never did heroin or any of those shitty drugs because I'm not a fucking retard. But I did manja de ganja, brah. So, and I don't even know what I'm talking about because I'm still fucking
your
high from
brain
when I was
doesn't
a
work.
from
Stop
You
grade
did
smoking
the
nine.
so much
audition for
weed.
Paul Reiser.
Oh, I did the audition for Paul Reiser, and I choked in front of him, and it was embarrassing.
On his cock?
And the guy from Twin Peaks, the crazy guy who killed the lead girl in Twin Peaks,
Laura
was there
Palmer,
watching
rest
me,
in peace.
looking at me, shaking his head like, "What the fuck you doing in here, bro?" And then right after me, he he nailed it because I was so shitty.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I didn't want to do it, and I just don't want to do things in my life that I don't want to do. I think I have the ability to do my own shit. If I don't want to do it, then fuck it. I don't care. I got enough cash.
You're more of an improv kind of guy, eh, Ken?
Yeah,
You just let it go.
Although he hates
I hate
improvisation
improv more
as
than
an art
anything.
form.
Oh my god!
But I think you're resentful
I
because
keep getting asked to do the. Actually, we were at the Canadian Comedy Awards once, and one of the kids in the hall who I love was up there with this shitty comedy troupe, and they all started like falling down on the ground.
That sounds funny.
And it was like, oh God, why? Even you're ruining yourself. Sean Cullen and what
I
was
like
his
Sean
name? Sat
Cullen. I
next
think
to
he's
us.
funny.
He's our who is he? He's
Isn't that McKinney?
He's our Mork. Yeah, McKinney and him sat right
Mork.
next to us, and we're doing improv the whole night. We almost fucking killed him.
Oh, I like
So
him.
zany.
I like him.
Yeah,
Sean
you
Cullen.
would. You would.
He's funny.
He's the only gay Eskimo.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, yeah, he's funny, but the guy's, if he's like, give the guy another fucking Red Bull. He's always on. Anyways, whatever. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about.
Finally, some truth.
Anyways, I just went to these awards, and I felt like a fucking I have like this.
Well, wait. First, you were on the high. Everyone. I'm not making this up. Everyone was talking about you after that panel. Like you saved this panel. You were.
I was like the talk of the
blew
awards.
people's minds. Then you get to the show. You feel great. I'm the talk of the panel. And everyone ignores you and snubs you. And that's a room of people who don't like you. You have a cult following. People love you. You get way more recognized. Not only more recognized than everybody else there, but people who recognize you love you. They think they know you. They've seen hundreds of hours of you.
Like the Canadian Bachelor was there. He saw me. He fucking flipped. The Housewives of Vancouver, they all saw me. They fucking freaked out.
Yeah,
now all their
looking
kids are emailing me.
Yeah.
It's
basically
like,
if they don't freak out,
if
they
you're
hate
cool,
you.
If you're cool and you're normal, yeah, you can have fun with it. Like, you know, I don't know. Anyways, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
So then you're on a low. You're at the low. We lose the award. We were up for best comedy series. What didn't even make the main telecast? Which I don't even know if you want to talk about that.
First of all the award guys got together and were talking about how the award should show comedy. And I said, you know what? It's good that the audiences, you know, don't see how shitty our fucking comedies are in this country. Because really, like, I'm not even joking. Like,
our comedy was good.
It's my response. Yeah, our comedy was good. But you know,
I haven't even seen the other ones. I can't even talk about it.
It's my responsibility. I want to make things better, and it's like the Emperor's New Clothes. There's this facade in Canada with film, especially in film and television, that, you know, if you do something that gets into con, then oh my God, you're incredible. When the reality is that the audience can't, or the Canadian audiences can't relate to our comedies and our film, and they're the guys fucking paying for everything. So I'm sorry, you know, Cronenberg, you know, like the guy made a fucking, you know, the only Cronenberg I like has a fucking bottle cap on it, you know, and the guy made him, you know, if I can start going through the fucking movies that guy made, like Crash, oh my God, that was the worst. That's a perfect name for a movie, Crash.
Not if you don't have the internet.
That was the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Existence, you ever see Existence?
I don't even watch those movies. Why would someone watch them?
The guy pulls a Nintendo remote control out of his stomach.
Well, there's Adam Agoyan, who you're a huge fan of.
Agoyan, you know what? I'm not saying these guys, like, I'm not saying they suck or they're not good filmmakers, aside from the fact that they suck and they're not good filmmakers.
They're just not your kind of movies.
They're just, you know,
and you're not sure whose they are.
Yeah, I don't think anybody watches them. No, but, you know, they get a lot of money. Like, look at Passion Fail. I don't want to talk about Canadian stuff.
People don't even know that.
Listen, anyways, whatever. Some guy made a movie for like $20 million and it made like $5, and then they give him another $20 million.
Yeah, that's because it's government money.
Well, but I like everyone that stepped into the government now, and I think everybody's finally becoming profit motivated instead of culturally motivated. And I actually feel like things are going to go really well in Canada now.
Hopefully, we'll get our hands on some of that
now. I think there's a new
money.
Generation of people that are in charge of shit.
That's true.
And
they're savvy.
my friends are going to save this fucking shit. Anyways, I don't talk about Canada.
No, but let's just say
Canada,
that we had so you were feeling a little low, and then we had a magical moment.
So then we're at a party, and
Martin Short hosted the CSAs. Now, just for those who don't live in Canada or maybe even know who Martin Short is, if you're a Canadian person of our generation, you grew up on Martin Short. He's like a Beatle.
He's John Lennon. Yeah, he's the greatest,
super
the greatest
funny,
comedian
great guy.
in the history of Canada.
Second, SCTV was where we got to know him, and he was just amazing.
I don't even know. You never even smoked weed. Like the fact that you don't even know how good SCTV is. You know,
it's kind of funny.
I have a thing with my brother, and it's called the Hooli Factor, where my whole life I went to go see like Trading Places with like Eddie Murphy. And I'd go, Ronnie, Trading Places. First of all, you're 15. I go, Ronnie, Trading Places is the funniest movie. It's the greatest movie ever made. And he'd call me after, go, that sucked. And I go, it's the Hooli Factor, bro. Take a couple of puffs of a fucking Hooli before you go in the fucking movie, and you'll see how funny it is, and you'll see how good it is.
Nothing worse than a movie that you have to be high for.
Like
Those
benefits
are the
of
worst.
smoking weed. You got to harness
Half-Baked.
weed.
Remember everyone talking about how great Half-Baked is?
Well,
It is great.
That's a movie. That's a movie about being stoned. Listen, if you're high, you got to be high for Cronenberg.
Just one time, Jeff. Can you smoke weed?
I could do it. I did it when I was 13.
What would happen, do you think?
I think I'd just be very paranoid that my brain was being altered for the
You're
rest of
already,
my life.
you're already having a buzz go, and you haven't even smoked
the
weed.
nanobots were in there.
Yeah. Or I'd be afraid that I'd start trying to walk on water and die.
Yeah, you think
Give it a shot. You don't know.
he thinks that, like, you
Lock
know,
the windows.
The Borg from what were their names? The Borg from
What?
Star Trek are in marijuana, and that they creep into his brain and
Take it over.
start pulling out like green
So experience it. Try it.
hacksaws and start cutting his synapses.
Well, when I did do, I was 13 and I tried it. It just I didn't whatever. Anyway,
okay,
I didn't feel
enough
high.
about gay sex. We're talking about weed.
Anyway, I didn't.
You sucked off the rabbi.
I didn't get any high. I didn't notice any high. I felt the same.
So
I
you
was
didn't
always
smoke
happy.
it properly. You didn't inhale it.
No, I inhaled it. I'm
I
just
don't think
always
so.
happy, and I was happy that night too.
You're shit weed
but
then.
then the next day, I watched The Color Purple with my family in the movie theater, and I was so paranoid that people could see that I was like I remember I was having
Doesn't
troubles
last
focusing on the
24
movie,
hours,
and I know what my paranoia I guess did.
That's just
Anyway, not for me.
That's just your Junus. That's
You know what?
nothing but the weed.
Why I saw the color purple, it was such a revelation to me because I thought they were black. I had no idea they
Yeah.
were actually like dark purple.
Yeah, there are the purple race. Yeah.
You talking about cocks or the people?
Well, my cock's purple.
So anyway, we had Martin Short. He's like one of the greatest people to not only many Canadian young men, but
first of all,
certainly to
me,
a young Kenny
not even,
and an old
not
Kenny
even, Fuck
Hotz.
you, Kessel. You don't know fucking how funny Martin Short is. You're a
Simon,
fucking
I don't do
idiot.
drugs.
Let me tell you something. My family comes from the same town Martin Short comes from.
Same with mine, Hamilton.
Fucking hammer.
I have been systematically weaseling my way into the SCTV group for 30 years.
Yeah, Andrea Martin, you've befriended.
I've befriended tons of them.
Did you not sleep with a relative of Catherine O'Hara's or something?
I
So you've claimed?
made out with Mary Margaret O'Hara.
Hello.
I've just been I've weaseled my way.
You tried to
into
get
them
Joe
over the
Flaherty for
years.
testes. Remember?
Yeah, I tried to get Joe Flaherty. Anyways, Martin Short to me is truly probably one of the greatest comedians in the history of Canada.
Yeah.
And we were sitting at a party, and they were all in another room, and it was a VIP room. They're sitting in there with Metric, who are friends of mine, and I went in there, and I can pull it off. I can't really bring the boys in the room with me.
What? I was in that
But
room.
I did.
We were all in that room.
Yeah, well, after a while.
But wait, did you talk about the disappointment of the fact that you went up to him and you said, "Do you know Kenny versus Spenny?"
And he said no.
Doesn't
yeah,
know
that's
who the hell you
disappointing.
are.
Shit,
That
I
hurt.
fucking, I had 4 hernias laughing at SCTV over the years.
Doesn't even know who the hell you are.
Anyways, whatever. Yeah, okay, well, so what?
But then we came
You're
up with a
white.
brilliant concept. Is that what you're going to talk about?
No,
What
no,
we pulled off?
No,
Oh.
we pulled off. You had nothing to
Brian
fucking
did.
do with it.
Brian
We're
did
sitting
it.
in a room. Brian walks
He's
in
a
the
hero.
room with
I can be your hero, baby.
Brian walks in the room with Martin Short.
Wait a minute. Back it up.
Martin Short
we're in
sits
a room.
down.
Wait, we're in our own room. There's this private room that we just went in.
Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry to break it down. We're in a room.
But-
now, why don't you talk about what color
No,
were the chairs,
because
you fucking
you-
idiot?
no,
Most of them
but
are brown.
usually-
Oh, yeah. Oh, the suede.
It was
the
a nice
lavender
seat.
suede.
I don't want to break it down that way. I'm just saying that usually when you see a celebrity that you look up to, you go up to him and you
I talked to
say,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we did a reversal.
No, you didn't do anything.
Brian did a reversal.
Okay, don't say we.
Brian did a reversal. We got this. We brought
No,
the
you
celebrity to
didn't
us.
do anything. It was Brian.
Right, tell the story. What did you do? You went up to Martin and what?
I told Mr. Short that the meeting was ready for him. We're all waiting in the room, and I escorted him into the room, closed the door, and we sat and chat with Marty for about 20 minutes.
He was trapped in a
was
room
awesome.
with us.
Well, no, Jeff
But
did
he-
pull out a chair.
I pulled out a chair.
and he sat down.
We gave him a round of
Applaud-
And then
applause.
I
Yeah.
sat there and
I was the first to
I
applaud.
gushed.
We all gushed.
Now, Kenny, you did what I think is one of the worst fan things to do. Now, because you've accomplished a lot, it's actually nice and it was endearing. But you did that thing that's annoying. And when I meet a Testes fan, I hate when they do this. When they just rattle out, like you
What
were
was his
like a
name?
machine.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
I remember this character.
I've waited
remember Sandler and Son.
I've waited
Oh,
my
and when you-
whole life to tell that man how much I love him. Talk about intricate details about some of the hidden sketches that nobody knows about.
He liked
Hidden
it.
stuff.
I'm like
He didn't mind.
No, he loved
I'm
it.
an
He was
SCTV
great.
expert. Like I know that Jiminy Glick is a mix between Brock Lonahan and Troy Soren.
No.
Yeah, I know that, and I told him that, and it blew his fucking mind.
And you went on with every character he's ever done. and
No, only the
asked
good
questions
ones.
about it.
I was talking about,
What was it, Sandler and Son or something?
Sandler and Young. But,
Yeah.
I said, I really love that Belgian lounge singer that you did. And he goes, the Schmengies? I go, no, that's fucking Schmengies. That's Candy and Levy. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
no,
he knew.
like,
Know
he
your
knew,
shit,
he knew.
Short.
Anyways, okay, I don't want to talk about that shit. It was incredible.
He humored
that
us.
made the entire festival for me, sitting in a room with Martin Short, a full audience with the King. Sebi was there from everybody. The whole crew was there from Triumph for the Will.
Yeah,
Jamie.
it was amazing.
And
Private audience.
Sebi's fucking mind was blown.
Yeah.
And then we go out and
Do the same thing again
with Catherine O'Hara.
We had an
Another
unaired
SCTV.
talk show that night.
Yeah, and so Catherine O'Hara, I know Catherine pretty well, and I know her family. But Brian was out there, and I just said, Catherine, we need you for a minute. And she came in and she sat down. And, like, it was just It was so incredible. And that's why I think I have the ability to rag about Canadian comedy, because I am so in love with, Billy Van and the Hilarious House of Frightenstein and Party Game and Captain Jack Duffy and
nobody knows any of those things.
Yeah, I know these fucking things. You know what? I do.
But nobody else does. So
yeah, no, some people do.
Okay.
But nobody's sitting in that fucking, that does comedy in Canada.
We're opening up the phone lines. Call in if you want to talk about...
Well, whatever. Anyways, you know what? You could
we
say,
don't have phone
you
lines,
could say
so.
this is a boring show and whatever, but at least I'm not talking about man rape, which I got my friend. My friend said, don't talk about man rape. You're funnier than that. Don't do that
So
shit.
you didn't rape anybody.
And let me tell you something. I got... Johnny... Let me tell you a Johnny Knoxville story.
Okay.
Johnny Knoxville... Spike Jonze... This is a true story. Spike Jonze brought Kenny versus Spenny to the whole Johnny Knoxville gang while they were shooting Jackass, and I started talking to Johnny Knoxville, and then I did some caveman bit in an episode. It was First One to Talk or something, I don't know, and Knoxville wrote me this whole letter. A long letter. It was a kiss-off. It was a goodbye, friend. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You blew it. Like, send me one of those you blew it letters. Because he didn't like, me being a character and joking around. He just wanted the show to be real and be on the story. My argument was, hey, look, just because I'm dicking around and I don't want to work with Spenny and I'm fucking off and I want to do some funny sketches or bits, which some people had a problem with, that doesn't mean that he wanted a cinema verite documentary style show that focused only on the competition. And when he thought I was trying to be funny and make jokes, which is a valid argument, that he didn't like the show and he thought I jumped the shark and he said fuck you. So I guess that's kind of
a sad story.
Yeah, where are you going with that? That's
I don't know. How did I start off with this? I don't know.
We're talking about the Hilarious House of Frightenstein and opening up the phone lines to them.
I don't know. I tell you, it goes back to me smoking so much weed.
Well,
but there's something about...
But he's done the same thing. The funny thing is, they've done the same thing. They jumped the shark. They think that they're all...
Oh my God, bam! Like, his whole show is so fucking fake,
Cool scarves, though.
Yes, yeah. Oh, God. Chris Angel.
So let's
Chris
go.
Angel Jr.
So we're on a high. We're at the CSAs. You're back up to a high. You've just met with Martin Short and Catherine O'Hare, which I think maybe depressed you a bit.
And hanging with Metric the whole entire night. My pal Jimmy is super, super sweet. And Emily, who I never really had spoken to much before, but
she's
nice.
not super sweet. She's not so
She's nice. She was nice to me.
She's not so nice.
I thought they were... I really like Jimmy and Liam.
I love them as a band.
Those are really nice guys.
But they're... I like that crowd.
And they're fucking huge.
I wouldn't just describe her as so nice.
They're so fucking huge. It's amazing.
She hates you, Jeff.
Seems like it. But then...
Well, you're nobody.
I'm a nobody. But you know what happened?
But
I went up to her.
You're friends with a somebody.
No joke. I was listening to Metric right before, just by total coincidence. Didn't know they were there.
Out! You were, and then you saw her.
And then I saw her, and I said, I'm just listening to you
that is
with
a funny
my kids.
Story.
And she just stared at me.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Would you do that to somebody? What you say is,
you
that's
just
great.
Did
You'd be phony.
You just did the worst thing a fan could do, Jeff.
I was honest about it.
I was just listening to your music.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't like that. I was like, hey, no, I was just listening to your music.
My mommy, I made poo-poo in my pants, mommy.
I was on an FX show. I'm not.
You were on my
loser.
FX show.
Thank you.
I put you on an FX show.
I thank
and why
you
don't you tell the story about how
the audition?
Yeah, the audition where Jeff came in and did this super shit audition. This is for testes. Did the super shit audition.
Are you going to tell the story? Can I tell the real story?
I'll tell the story. I was sitting there. I was
truth.
I was the boss. He goes in, does this audition with this fat fucking improv loser who sucked total shit. And I went,
he's a good guy and he's a nice guy and he's funny.
Fucking loser. Get the fuck out of my face. I was so sick of seeing
Go do another
people.
Rogers commercial,
yeah,
bro.
have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun on Timmy's.
Luckily, you didn't recognize me from
serving fucking donuts. And then his friend Steve Markle comes in and he wanted to bring Jeff again, and I said no. We saw him. Get the fuck out of here. And I pointed at Jeff and said no. Fuck you. Get out. And then Merkel, because he's such a nice kind of Jewy guy, and goes, and I got no one to do the lines with. And I was just like, oh, fine. Yeah. And then they were magic, of course.
Oh, that's actually pretty accurate. Usually you tell the story that I came in 8 times. When Derek tells the story, I came in 8 times.
And
like,
on the
oh,
ninth
again?
time-
Forget it. Get out.
No.
Yeah, but it is kind of true. You're like, we saw this guy, and Steve's
Fuck
like...
off.
But the thing is that I knew I was going to go... Steve's my real-life best friend who I've known since I was a baby. We've been best friends our whole lives.
A real-life bestie.
Real-life bestie. And we knew you were even looking for that. So when I went in with the other guy, I was doing a different... I knew I was going to be able to do
real
my
life
other
best.
thing.
You want to know what else happened, Mr. Real Life Best Friend?
uh-oh.
So they ganged up, and both of their agents were like. Merkel's agent goes, I want $100,000 an
Yeah, that's
episode,
true.
and I said, oh yeah. Well, they both said they wanted this ridiculous amount of money.
No, that's not true. We knew that was... Okay.
You were mad at Steve for asking
I wasn't
for
mad
a
at
lot
him.
of
Just
money.
it was a waste of time and it was ridiculous. And I wasn't mad. Amanda,
That's
who's
right.
my agent and wife, knew that it was ridiculous. But Steve's manager at the time was going in with a strategy of like, hey, let's go for it all. And it's like an amount of money that they don't even have in Canada.
Yeah.
And he's holding out for it. And we just...
And I said, okay, fuck you. I'm playing the part. You're fucking fired. I go,
No, you
I
said-
said
yeah.
first person to sign the contract wins, and I'm playing the other part. Fuck you. And I swear to God, Kessel's, I've never seen anyone like... He was like Data from Star
That's
Trek
right.
on a
Give me a pen.
calculator.
Give me a pen.
As if I even...
Give me a pen. Give me a pen. He signed so fast.
That's not true. But I will say this.
Oh, the paper caught fire. That's how fast.
I mean,
he
as if
fucking
that's how it
signed.
works. I don't even sign contracts. I've got other people who do that for me. But
Yeah,
I
oh,
will say that
very
we were
cool.
waiting for this
You know
whole
what?
charade
No,
to
actually,
end,
that's,
and
I
it was
think,
like
yeah,
an opportunity
I think
to...
your wife stuck her hoof on an ink pad.
That's her signature. But that is also a pretty accurate story. It's
Yeah.
pretty good. You're really... The truth really is coming out today.
That's the truth.
Name of the game, bro.
And thank you, by the way, for giving me that part.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you're on a high now. You've met Martin Short and Catherine O'Hara, and they've come to you. You've had your own private
and it was
audience.
fun, and I've known Spenny and I were friends of Catherine's brother Marcus for many, many years. I got his email again, so it's nice to be back.
You're feeling good,
But
and then
look, Andrea Martin has showed up at my house.
Yeah.
And Catherine, Andrea, these girls to me, like, the reason why I'm in the business is because of SCTV.
Yeah.
The greatest show in the history of Canada.
It's so good.
And what's going on now? Somebody, one of the journalists came up to me, and don't shit on me. Like, if you're an executive watching this, hey, look, I'm not saying anything that's not true.
no, your show. Any executives out there, your show's good. It's just all
a journalist
the other
came
ones.
up to me and said, why is every show not funny in Canada? And this is like a journalist, like a real guy I know. So every show is not funny in Canada. We're all pissed off. And I said, hire a Jew. You want something to be funny? Hire a fucking Jew.
God bless you.
Brian, how do you feel about that? About
What?
Kenny thinking Jews are a little bit better than everybody else?
I don't
Wanna
think
pipe in?
Not better, funnier.
Yeah. I would agree with... No, I wouldn't say they're funnier, but I think that they can make a good show. It's better than...
than the
I don't
Christian
know.
shows.
Match Game, whatever the fuck is on
pretty
Comedy
good.
Network these days.
So Kenny's feeling good about himself, and then he goes outside for a cigarette, and I'm not going to name who the celebrity was, but you watch somebody basically get greenlit. in
Well,
a
I didn't go out
sentence.
for a cigarette. Brian had a single hitter, and when I get really drunk, I smoke weed.
When
I
a
usually-
weed at...
guys
I
were doing
usually
drugs?
don't. But he
yeah.
has the single hitter, the cigarette single hitter. So, and Merrick's taking pictures of me. I'm outside having a single hitter cigarette. My dick friend Merrick here with the fucking cameras sends me an Instagram of me smoking a joint, going busted. Like, what a fucking dick. Like, I don't want people knowing I smoke fucking
You're
weed.
on a radio show talking
Dude,
about
you smoked
it.
weed for a half-hour
I
show.
know, but that's me doing it. I don't want any fucking Merrick sitting here doing it. Anyways, whatever. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and there's a guy behind me, a famous celebrity, talking to some, studio head. He pitches him an idea for like a minute, and then this guy's basically just unlocked $20 million. Goes, oh yeah, we can do that. Great idea. Let's make that movie. It can happen right now. And then the guy they hug. And as he's walking away, the huge celebrity goes, I'm so happy. Like, he just sold a $20 million movie in back of me. And it's like, fuck.
During a ciggy break.
What the fuck? It's so fucking annoying.
Should've
I'm
been
just a
smoking
fucking
drugs,
loser. I'm a
man.
fucking loser.
Should be closing deals, not
I'm not-
smoking
So
drugs.
then you hit your low. You were on that low for a few
Yeah,
days.
and then I was like, oh, shit. You know what? Like, I can't believe that, I can't even do this shit. You know, how long do I really have to work for? I ate fucking 30 pounds of meat in 3 days. I've been busting my ass for everybody for so fucking long. You know,
and yet some people love. It seems like people really love you, but they're not the people who can do anything for you. That's what's frustrating. There are people out there who love you so much, but they're 17-year-olds.
Listen, I think I can get another show, or I could really do something. It's just, you know, what happened with me over the past couple of years is I just feel like, you know, how much is this shit doing? How much, like, I don't
You're
know.
used and abused.
Well, you ate a human being your last show.
I've
Now
moved
you
digital.
can't.
I'd YouTube, baby. YouTube.
Now we're on YouTube, on XM Radio and YouTube. And
Great.
what do
We
you think
made
the
it.
future
We
holds for
fucking
you?
made it.
Listen, I'm
Thank
going to try and
God.
bust I'm going to try and bust that digital hymen, baby. You know what I
Sorry?
mean? Like the networks are dead. YouTube and Google are going to be the new fucking
No.
the new big brother.
Nope.
Right,
NBC. NBC is making waves.
Well, they are still holding strong, those networks. I guess, you know, people don't
They're
want
not
it just
going
much.
to. No, it's all going digital.
You think they're done?
Yeah, they're done. Computers and
They say content is king, Kenny.
Ugh.
yeah, it is.
They get a lot of eyeballs.
LeBron James is king, bro. Fuck content.
Well, maybe not LeBron James, but
Even
Dennis
so,
Rodman's
so
the
the
talk of
networks
the
will
town.
go digital, but they'll monetize on
That's interesting.
on the internet.
This is the worst conversation.
Whatever. Can we talk about? Let's talk
Talk about
about.
something that's not making money, you fucking Jews.
Well,
Come on.
I'll tell you the funny thing
What,
too.
you?
But
Let's talk about Brian.
Okay? Let's have at it.
Brian's not making money.
No, I haven't made money in 4 months.
that's not true. Didn't Kenny pay you $100 to clean up the poo in his backyard?
Yeah, don't tell the tax man.
Yeah, some of it's still in his beard.
So?
You know, speaking of paying money, how much? Kenny was asking earlier today, how much for you to remove your nose or something?
No,
like
I
he
that.
wanted
said
to
if
flatten my nose.
I said if I take a baseball bat and I smash your nose flat onto your face,
Yeah.
like basically hack off your nose with a rusty fucking hacksaw.
Yeah, and I said if I could breathe, $5 million, and if I can't breathe, $1 million per month for the rest of my life. I think that's a fair deal.
So it's $5 million if I leave blowholes in your stub.
Correct. If I can still breathe.
$5 million.
$5 million.
That is the
Flat.
Yeah, and $1 million a month.
$1 million a month if I can't breathe, because then that's kind of not healthy. Know what I mean?
Really, it's amazing. Only $5 million. See, that's where it's
Investment.
interesting.
You invest the money, you all of a sudden get
How much
$25 million.
how much
You
should,
could lose all the money.
how
if
much
it's a
should
bad investment.
Welcome to the stock market.
Dye all your hair black for the rest of your life.
And be a
The
normal
rest of my
person.
life. Come on.
Rest of your life.
No, you can shave my head rather than dye it black.
There's,
No,
got a
black.
there's a
How
price.
much?
How
How
much?
much?
Black hair with a red beard. Yeah,
No,
great.
black
No,
hair,
all
black
your
beard, all
hair.
black. The
You know
royal.
how annoying it'll be to dye my beard
How
black?
much?
You're getting
Fucking
compensated.
Idiot. Oh,
How
how
much?
annoying is going to be without being able
He
to
doesn't
wear.
mind the nose, but he doesn't want regular. He
How
doesn't
much-
want to be a regular
Yeah.
human being.
How much annoying is going to be
Regular?
without being able to wear glasses? Okay, what did I say? I said how much to be chimp face lady. That we get monkeys to rip off your face and eat your face.
Yeah.
And you said something like,
You can, for those who don't know what we're
5
talking
million.
about, Google
Nah.
it.
how much?
What, to actually feel monkeys rip at my face?
Yeah,
And then be that person for the
be-
rest
just
of
be
your life.
chimp
Be a
face.
monster.
Okay, fine. We'll put you under. A surgeon will make you look like the chimp face lady that was on Oprah.
That's something I could consider.
How much?
$100 million.
100 million. It's funny that he could see he. 100
No one
million,
will look
problem,
at me for
but he
the rest
couldn't
of my
even
life.
give a price for being
You
a
know,
regular colored-haired person.
This chimp ate her eyes. You have no eyes, right?
No,
You get new eyes.
She, that's not true.
Everything's
Yeah.
digital.
It ate the eyes too.
Ate everything. Ate her entire face.
God.
Hungry monkey.
And the weird thing is, I kind of feel good about it because you shouldn't take chimps and put them in your house or whatever that thing, whatever. The
Oh,
situation
a wild animal? Yeah.
Get rid of your wife.
is. She's an exception.
It's a shaved orangutan.
Speaking, well, yeah. So it's,
What else you got, Jeff?
I don't know, but there's like a hum and a plane in this.
Who fucking
booth.
cares? Keep going. This shitty radio show.
Brian,
Brian had shit. Read the stuff I want to talk about.
there's something. Well, we've gone through most of it, but Chelsea Handler on Oprah, you wanted to talk about. I didn't know what that was even about, but I thought I'd know.
You know,
Probably
first
more
of all-
depressing
No,
stuff
that
for you.
was depressing to me. Not really depressing, but you know, I've known her for a very long time. I was with her with Spenny in L.A. in 98, 99. I lived with her ex-boyfriend for 5 fucking years. He was my landlord, and we used to go and support her and go see all this shit, and she never liked me. Maybe at the beginning she did, but I've hung out with her family but I was banging her best friend.
And she didn't like you?
And she didn't like me.
Weird.
Even back then, you claim that you were like really good friends with her, but when we would bump into her, she didn't seem to like you. I thought that was just a famous, successful version of her.
No.
But you're saying when she was a loser, she didn't like you.
Yeah, when she was a loser,
yeah.
No, but, she deserves everything she got, and she was funny and shit, but it's just like, I know Spenny must see her. Like, I just found out that her friend emailed me and said that she's going on Oprah. Oprah's interviewing her. Or no, someone told. I can't remember. I think my girlfriend told me. Says she's going on Oprah, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that I know somebody that I took my last $5 to go see do stand up comedy, and you know what? She really fucking made it. I don't know. I forget what I was going to talk about. I think I was in a shitty mood earlier, and I was going to say something shitty.
Well, you were just depressed. The past few days,
I've been depressed.
Pretty depressed.
Like I said, it's when you do festivals or you do like all this shit where you're glorified and then afterwards it just stops. It's called post-festival depression, and I'm a little run down, but I really do think I got like things are really going, and I feel like I'm working again and I'm motivated again, and I'm pretty fucking happy. Aside from my accountant told me I blew fucking all my dough on fucking rent. My accountant told me I'm going to be broke in a few years if I keep blowing all my cash on restaurants.
Now, you happen
Gotta
to...
eat.
You've been drinking a lot during this festival. You think maybe that's part of it? Maybe the hangover?
Could
Is there
be.
an actual hangover?
Could be the ecstasy, too.
Because you guys always ask, how can I handle this stuff without being wasted? But I don't know how you guys can wake up the next day drinking as much as you do. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, there are some big wigs there that I went up to and was like, give me a fucking show. I'm fucking huge.
Yeah,
like,
you're
are you
wasted.
fucking retarded?
You spend the whole weekend impressing them, having this great panel. Then you get wasted, and
After 14 martinis and tell them how fucking you're a fucking idiot.
Everything sucks in Canada. You're talking
You're
to
shit.
executives. You're like
shit.
talking about
I'm
the
the
shows
best.
they produced. Oh, that show is so shit. No, I don't want to be a cheeser.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I have a belief that they realize that I can bring them a couple 200,000-300,000 audience members in Canada for a show that fits their mandate.
But
something good.
But they don't know. They don't know their show is shit. They're hoping that it's good.
Well, that gets no viewers and nobody watches it.
Yeah,
and
but
when
they
you go
think
on
that
Facebook and your show has 122 likes, and you go on my show and it's got 400,000 likes, who are you going to give a show to? The guy that's got 20...
Well, apparently them, because
I think those
that's who
numbers
they're
might
giving
go
it to.
You know, Finkelman has a show right now on...
Good God.
Yeah, Good God.
On
Nobody
our... It's TMN. It'd be like
the
our
guy has
HBO.
22 Twitter fans.
22
I
for
have
real?
85,000.
No, I mean, it's a little weird. In fact, he had a show called Good Dog.
And
then,
it got canceled for low ratings, and then they picked up a new show called Good God.
which was the exact same show. They just renamed it.
And I went in there. I was ragging about this on stage. So I went in there and said, "Hey, look, give me a show, even if you don't like the show I'm pitching now."
Triumph of the Gill.
But listen, whatever. I like the channels. I like the stuff, and I actually think a show is slick. And it's good, and it's got a great narrative thread, and it's done well, and it's really tight. If they like that, that's incredible. But be a business. Know that I can bring you, such a huge audience, and that you'll make money, and we'll sell our show internationally. But you know what? I'm wrong saying that people won't give me stuff. I'm being a dick, and I never have really gone in there and tried to sell something that they want to pick up. So everything's totally fine, and I don't know why I'm...
I know.
You're
You're a little lazy. You are a little lazy.
I'm lazy.
Occasionally, people come up to you. Not occasionally. I've been there, and they actually start bugging me because they know that I'm the one who will do something. But they'll be like, please, write it up and give it to me.
I know, and I won't even do that.
You don't even follow through.
I know. I'm fucking...
Because I have to say, you get depressed after this, but because you see other people being celebrated for mediocrity. But you just like to do your own thing. I have to say, it's an admirable thing. You want to make something good. You don't want one of those shows, and so that's one reason why I think you don't follow through.
Yeah, and I don't really want to work for anybody else, and I don't want to... if I don't have a really good idea that I think is going to make something fucking incredible, then I don't want to do it. And then the other thing is that I'm not a car guy. The only thing I spend money on is fucking steak and food. And I've got, I own my house. I got everything I need, and I don't need to suck anybody's fucking dick for anything.
Yeah, but you can't keep that money going for the rest of your life. You gotta keep.
I can if I move to the gay island of Eos and open a kebab shop.
Can I come?
I hope so.
Maybe we should get to Brian's minute. I feel like we never get a
Why?
response to Brian's minute. We got
far?
5 minutes left.
6 minutes.
Oh no, that's crazy.
5
Okay,
minutes.
1 second. Before that, has this been a better show for you? Even though it's not really funny.
It's not funny, but I like it better. It's less bullshitty, and
I thought it was
people,
chock full of bullshit.
Brian, shut up.
Really?
We're talking.
I thought it was pretty good. The people will decide.
No,
Great.
it's not. Less and less people are watching this show now.
No, that was last week. No, that's not true. It's very consistent. We get about 15,000 on
still
YouTube.
the number one show
But
in
we're the
Canada.
number one show. We do amazing on
Regardless
XM.
of our numbers.
And I just checked in, and it was number
You know
one
who we're,
again for another
who we're
week.
against Armenia today. Like that's a
We
fucking show
kicked
people
their
are
ass,
listening
though.
to.
We've got twice
You
the
listen to-
listenership of Armenia today.
You listen to the fucking you go rifle through the channels on AM radio in this country, and it sounds like the fucking toilet in the United Nations. Like you can't even understand half. Even the English, you can't even fucking understand.
There's a lot of specialty shows,
Oh
shall
my
we
god!
say.
It's like there's like the only people that listen to AM radio are fucking taxi drivers.
Well, we're not on AM radio.
Could be.
What made you talk about AM radio? We're XM,
Yeah,
baby.
but there's I don't think people really radio for people isn't this is like the only
It's
thing,
funny that you talk about because you don't listen to any radio
I listen
ever.
to AM.
Oh, do you?
All I listen to is AM. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Well,
Yeah.
you're just making fun of people, but it turns out you, not taxi drivers,
Well, it's
you
the
listen to
same,
AM radio.
It's news. I'm a news junkie.
Yeah.
I like to jam needles full of news in my cock and under my eyelids.
You mostly like little...
Classic junkie.
Well, have you been following... I mean, we don't have time to talk about it. Dennis Rodman, North Korea, it's all going to shit.
Well,
this
that's-
world is done. Even China is ready to sanction
Pink
North
slime.
Korea.
Pink slime.
Pink slime, baby.
We're all
ABC
fucked.
getting sued for $1.2 billion. It's going crazy.
Yeah, and now
Drake,
journalists-
about Canada's own Drake.
Drake goes into some strip joint with $50,000 of $1 bills.
Let her rain, baby.
What if
For those
seriously?
who don't know, Drake is a rich Jew from Toronto.
Yeah, who went to my
happens
high school, Forest
Yeah.
Hill Collegiate. But you know what? Like, I would rather go in there with one $50,000 bill and throw that in the air and see those single moms go fucking
It's so preconceived to go in
Eat
there
it-
with $50,000.
eat each other's faces. Like, who's going to eat someone's face for $31 bills?
I know it's anyway.
It's like
it
that's
worked.
what they do
Everyone's
in,
talking about it,
Bucharest.
including us.
People show up, Arabs show up to strip joints with dollar bills just like that. It's like such an insult to the American society that this guy would do that. Like, dude, bring some fucking
probably
cars
took
for these
months of planning
these
to
poor,
get that many
these
$1
poor-
bills together.
Like these poor, single mothers that'll suck your dick for $100. Give them a fucking car.
Yeah, he blew it. Let's get to Brian's minute.
Okay, welcome to Brian's Minute. First of all, no number picks this week. I maintain the same numbers as last week.
What were they?
I'm keeping it light as well. I realized the first 2 minutes were a little heavy and maybe not what Kenny had hoped for. So let's keep it light.
There's only supposed to be 1 minute.
Mr.
So
Hotz.
let's keep it
Brian's
light
Mr. Hotz.
with chapter 4 of the book of Revelation, King James Edition. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder.
What kind of
one
seal
of
was
the
it?
4 beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow,
Johnny
and a
Cash,
crown
that's a
was
great
given
song.
unto him.
Brian,
And he went forth
do you know who-
conquering and to conquer.
Do you know who Andy
and when
Rooney
he had
is?
opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and
Even
see."
Andy
second,
Rooney's
you know,
minute's
I was
better.
there
Brian,
went
1
out-
second, Brian. I was at Marineland once and I opened a seal, if you know what I mean.
And there went out another horse that was red, and power was
This
given
could
to
be
him
your
that sat
opportunity to
thereon
shine,
to take
Brian.
peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto
Okay,
him a
this is
great
it. Okay.
sword.
Anyways,
Oh,
how
the
much
minute's
time's
up.
up?
No, it's
okay,
done.
That
everybody,
was a minute.
thank you
Thanks a
so
lot,
much.
guys.
It'll get funnier. I just needed to clear my mind. It's honesty from now on. No more fucking bullshit. Thank you.
You always peak too early. We got another. Just because you hear the music doesn't mean we're done. You can still go. It's warming us out. Anything else to say to the people
bro.
not in a rush?
I'm done.
Stop posting your roll up the rim record on Facebook, everyone. Please.
and
I
you
don't
know
care
what?
if you're 2
And
out of
if you're-
10.
If you're on Facebook, nobody wants to know what you're doing today. Oh, taking the kid to go play gin rummy with my mom. Like, it's not a schedule thing. And
Wait, stop. Who's playing gin rummy with their mom?
Anyways, don't do it.
Okay, people, be safe to yourselves and to those around you.
You
bang my dead wife?
Well, she was alive at the time.
For people who love to laugh, Bite TV is the source for smart, original comedy.
Is that your mum?
She's fit. Yeah, I'd fuck her.
Including hit series It's Always Sunny and The IT Crowd.
My wife and I, we've been